Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Hearts of Iron 3, their finest hour. I'm your other host, Gilvin. And today, we're actually going to be doing Ethiopia. I know, you couldn't have guessed. I'm currently embarking on a quest to do a round of Ethiopia in every Paradox game, and unfortunately I've come up on the hardest one. It is, you guessed it, Hearts of Iron. Grumble, grumble, grumble some more. So, Ethiopia. Oh, I'm just gonna need to crick every bone in my body, because this is gonna be a hard one. You start at war with Italy. They outmatch you in every conceivable way, and you cannot possibly win this war. Not in the slightest. They outmatch you, and they will kick your ass to Timbuktu, which is incidentally not very far from here, actually. Timbuktu. Somewhere around here. At any rate, so you ask, well, how are you going to play Ethiopia then? Well, most people don't know this because most people never try this, and I don't blame them. It's completely ridiculous, but it turns out if you just ask nicely, Italy will go away. Oh, that's great. Oh dear. So, yeah, okay, that's fine. I'm just debating what to do. I don't know if I want to switch back to war economy. Might make things a little bit better. Nah, I'm gonna keep total economic mobilization. It's sometimes a bit of a trick thing between those two. And we're, of course, going to go to specialist training right away. There we are. So that's our laws taken care of. We have a pile of research points to go. Unfortunately, we only have 5.16 leadership to work with. So we've got to be careful about what we pick here. We're going to start with light tank brigades, though. If we have a look at the terrain map mode, you'll find that actually, for a lot of what we'll be fighting here, is going to be desert and open plains. Although the core of our land is the Ethiopian highland, we're hopefully not going to fight too much in it. At least that's the hope. If we have to start fighting a lot in the Ethiopian highlands, we're probably fucked. Just saying. So don't need to worry about that yet. We're going to get light tanks. We're not going to go farther than that because unfortunately we just simply do not have the resources to allocate to that kind of research. And we're going to need it elsewhere as well. In addition to this, we're actually going to start researching Blitzkrieg right away. Blitzkrieg will make us a lot better and more capable of dealing with particular, more organized armies. It'll help our light tanks a lot. We're going to be mainly going for that. Alright. We're also, of course, going to immediately start researching industrial production and efficiency, as any sane person would, especially because we're going to need advanced construction. Now, normally I don't use too many console commands. However, in this case, I am actually going to debug the fog of war. Really? Is that not the command? Oh, it's just this, apparently. From previous games I've played. Alright, and the reason is because I want to be able to talk about some stuff. And, okay, I need to finish technology before I can unpause it to allow the debug fog of war to take effect. What last thing should I get? I'm actually going to go for cold oil conversion. Yeah, that's alright. I'm going to give all that. I'm going to start up getting some officers as soon as we can. So, we're going to let time pass a little bit now. Italy won't attack us. Peace. Italy has accepted peace. Now, I'm pretty certain I turned off fog of war. Okay, yeah, it is off. So, the reason I would turn off fog of war is I want to talk to you about strategy, and in particular related to infrastructure. And another reason why we won't be going past light tanks. Despite what most people think about Africa and how terrible it is to actually traverse, Ethiopia actually has an interesting little factoid about it, in that it is actually isolated. You'll notice that there is two particular regions where you'd expect there to be infrastructure, but there is not. No infrastructure is present in these locations. That means that no troops can cross here, and no troops can cross here. our goal is actually going to be taking this isolated region. We probably won't start, unfortunately, until the start of the First or Second World War, but hey, that's okay. We're going to drop preparations for war. And start getting our neutrality down. I'm sure our RIC is wasted. Thank you. We're going to primarily focus on upgrades. We're going to keep militia. We'll just give that what we need on that. And I'm going to turn it over to prioritize reinforcement. That's fine. Alright. Politics. Supply consumption reduction. That's excellent. I like it. I like it. Nationalize private sector. Sure thing. We're going to demobilize and stand down. We don't need it. And it's probably better that we keep it that way for at least a little while. We have solidly 3 years, I guarantee, before we go to war. We don't need to be doing this shit. But I do need about as many officers as I can physically get my hands on. Unfortunately, due to my general rate of, research being as shit as it is, I don't really have that much room to get officers going. And you need at least 100% officer ratio to even think about being able to do anything. Yeah, automatically. Just gonna automate trade. See if the AI can't save my failing economy. Welcome to playing Ethiopia, everyone. It's not great. But you do your best. That's the thing about Ethiopia. The farther you go in through history, yeah, rare materials is emptying. The farther you go through history, the worse this gets. And the harder to play Ethiopia. Alright, so a lot of people are asking a lot of good questions right now. Like, am I going to go Allies? Am I going to go Axis? Who am I going to side with? And the answer is somewhere in between. I don't think it's actually a good idea to side with either. I will probably end up in the Axis, though, but I will be at war with Italy. Simply put, Italy has territory that I need. And I have intent on capturing it. And someday, when, Italy probably screws up really badly up here and loses out, we'll probably build a bit of infrastructure and connect to these regions and push up. And try and retake Alexandria. Now, considering Alexandria is like an end goal for me, that should demonstrate just how hard this can be. Yeah, we're roughed up. How much I see. But that's okay. Get the reinforcements going wherever you can. There's technology coming. Excellent. Right on schedule. Now, following the get a light tank brigade, we're only going to coal and oil 1. And this is just to make sure that we have enough fuel. Because I am going to be using, tanks. And I do want at least the basic ability to convert coal to oil. Because there's, let's face it, no fucking oil here. There isn't even oil in Africa if you have a look around. Like, I don't even think there is any oil at all. Holy crap. Like you'd expect, it's like, hey, Libya has oil. Nope. Egypt has oil. Nope. This would be the closest oil point. And I don't know if we're going to get it. It'd be a rough fight to get to it. Like, there is absolutely zero oil on the whole of the African continent. We have some uranium down here, but I'm not going to lie, I have no intent of going for the nuke bomb. Let's face it here. As Ethiopia, I do not have anywhere near the resources required to get a nuclear device operational before the end of the game. So we're going to push up towards Egypt. Hopefully. Alright. So, what are things coming? Excellent. We're about ready to get our light tanks going. And then we'll immediately start work. Games of the 11th Olympiad. Yes, Germany was successful at it. Unfortunately, we're going to keep going industrial production efficiency for a while. We really need to catch it up. And it's particularly important, especially for industrial efficiency, so it costs us less to build things and makes them build a little quicker and stuff. It's kind of important. Like, we will probably never stop researching industrial efficiency. Eventually, industrial production I'll give up on, but that's okay. Alright, so we're just going to start immediately on the light tank gun, and we're going to put light tank armor in Q. Good, good. Alright. That's working out okay. And we're actually getting some wasted IC soon, I think. Surge of volunteers. Let's fight. That's really useful. You may notice that as Ethiopia, I have currently, like, the best laws possible enabled right now. You know? That may be heavy industrial emphasis, but I wouldn't enable that right now anyway. Because, you know, consumer goods plus 10% during peacetime. IC ratio enemies against enemies is less than 200% at war, and unity is at least 80. Yeah, I'm going to need to start working on that. Intel. I want national unity raising. Thank you. I need at least 80% unity to later enable that. Once we go to war, again, there is no coming out of war. That's going to be an important thing to note. Once we get cold oil conversion, I'm going to toss it off and we're going to start researching tank armor. I'm going to want to hopefully get decent tanks coming soon. Right now, tanks are shit. Like, actually pretty shitty. Like, I would take militia over them, to be honest. With higher defensiveness. I guess they have some toughness. Gives them something. I'd definitely take regular infantry over them. So, we'll ditch cold oil conversion. Because that just gives us, you know, a little more use of that. Hey, even more volunteers. Good. We need all the manpower we can get. We don't have much, and I'm going to have to make very good use of what we have. If we're going to get anywhere. I'm hoping by 48 to rule Alexandria. Oh, Spanish Civil War triggered. No surprises there. And thankfully, with that fog of war, since we're just going to be sitting here for a few years, we at least get to watch some interesting stuff. Now the interesting question comes to who will win the Spanish Civil War. It can go either way, really. I think in this case, the nationalists will win. I'm thinking because a large portion of the Republican troops are cut off. They might not be cut off anymore. Could go either way. They managed to pull their troops back. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I don't actually have all that much to spend here. Government nationalizes private sector. Nice. Like, it's fine to waste IC in this case, because in this case, I'm actually just building resources that I'll spend later. By wasting IC. Like, IC is not a limiting factor for me. It is mostly my rare resources, which we are looking to get. Alright. Good. Getting through everything. It'll be a long, long while before I bother stopping these. Like, it'll probably be 38, that'll be the last level I'll research, then I'll probably give it a rest. And then probably start pumping as much as I can into light tanks. This is going to be important. Daily descent change. Tensity drift due to internal factors. We're not drifting for us is irrelevant. At least I hope it is. If we're drifting, then we're in trouble. Alright. Yeah, won't be long now before we're through all that. And we're through the first year. Like I said, there'll only be about 3 episodes of war prep before we actually go to war. And I think now I'm going to start production on the 1st Light Armor Brigade. Get ourselves readied. We have almost enough officers. Thankfully, service by requirement helps here. And in addition, you know, most of our army's militia, which I believe requires like 50 officers. Officer requirements. They're around here somewhere. 10, right? Whereas infantry is 100. I would require 10 times as many officers if I change my militia into infantry. There'll be a point where I actually start abandoning research to get more officers, because, you know, I'm building new brigades, and they're definitely going to need it. I'm actually going to want to upgrade a few of my militia into infantry so I can start getting some combined arms bonuses, which I'll talk about in a bit. I'm going to semi-run a tutorial along as we go here. In fact, you know what? I can talk about combined arms right now. Unless, there's nothing I need to do on technology for a little while. Just let it go. Combined arms, you have to take one of these three, infantry, cavalry, and garrison, and then you have to combine it with armored artillery, direct fire, and support, such as anti-aircraft and anti-tank. In general, for example, here we'll get this, which gives a combined arms bonus for combat. Whoops, I didn't want a second infantry. So if I did this, 15% bonus to combat, which actually isn't that great, but it's something. I'm not going to worry about it too early, though. Blitzkrieg advance, excellent. We need Blitzkrieg in order to ensure that we are capable of fighting the more organized armies. Good. Looks like our tanks will be ready eventually. Not great, but something. It'll be something. Okay. Good. And as we get some IC efficiency and stuff here, this will hopefully be ready a little sooner. We're hoping. Well, it's not easy. Anyway, that's going to do it for the first episode. We've made it through the first year and a quarter. And I can safely say the Nationalists have won the Civil War. They got punked. What's their problem anyway? When I played Republican Spain, I won. Should say the same about the Finnish. When I played the Winter War, I won that too. So, thank you everybody for watching. As always, this has been your lovely, lovely host, Galvin, signing off.